All right, I'm here with Maurice. We're gonna get into a little bit of this religiosity. Yeah, yeah. I caught you off guard with that one, huh? Yeah. I see you tried to catch me off guard with that shirt, but I got some cue cards, man. I got some,
I
going right
I
in.
should have wore my in
You hate
reason's name.
your hate God T-shirt.
In reason's name, amen.
All right, there we go. There we go. I don't know how I chose this topic, but this is one I know you can go off the head on this one. You can go off the head on this one. So we're gonna have
I
you.
I'm gonna make my dinner while we do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Don't
Well, all right.
mind.
Here's question number one, and we want to get to something me and Sis talked about, and I want to present her position about you to you to see if it's correct or not. All right.
Okay. All right.
All right. Grandma made us
That's
all go to church, right?
correct. Yeah.
Me included. Okay. You sound real interested in this.
I
Okay.
know where
Look,
it's
I'm gonna tell
going,
you
but
where I'm
go
church
ahead.
hurt too. No. I'm gonna tell you where I'm church hurt and about a moment that actually could have broken me just as easy as it broke you. All right.
You know what broke me,
Allegedly.
right?
I
Is what we're saying. But
allegedly. I said allegedly.
okay, all right.
I said
Well,
allegedly, which means you ain't
okay.
nothing to say about that. So we get into it. I remember one incident where you remember I was on a wrestling team.
Yes.
All right. Grandpa made me wrestle, right? But didn't
I
buy the
remember. And
equipment.
you didn't buy the right
Didn't buy
shoes.
didn't buy me the right shoes. So I
Right.
basically broke my ankle. Went
Was it
home and
broken for real?
it was broken. I heard it break.
Oh,
I heard
shit.
it broke. Heard it break when as I go back, remember fractured maybe, because I heard it
Okay.
snap when I was wrestling and my foot didn't go. I got pushed and
Right.
it didn't. You know what I mean? I heard it. So I get home and my ankle was swollen like a grapefruit. Right. I'm sitting on the
Yeah.
couch and Grandma comes in there and she's like, "All right, I'm sorry to hear that. It's
Hold on,
time to get
hey,
ready for
I'm
church.
recording something.
It's time to
I
get
hear you.
ready for church." So basically that very moment was where I saw where fanaticism didn't meet logic, and it kind of hurt me quite a bit, right? Because I'm pretty sure I might have limped to church that night, right, on a Wednesday, right? So that was the
We went
moment
to
that I
church.
had
We went to church on a Wednesday too, while you was
probably on a Wednesday,
some
right? Because
revival.
I remember that very moment when I told her, you know, hey, was expecting some sympathy to come back, and when she hit me with that
Uh-huh.
one, it just kind of just deflated a whole lot of what I was all about at that point. Now, granted,
Right.
I had to put this in perspective to be able to still find God in my own way, right? But that was the type of situation that could have broke any. I'm not saying you're broken. Could break anybody. Yeah, could break anybody, right? And could have broke
Okay.
me. So I probably don't go to church as
Yeah.
much as I could based on those incidents, right? So I had to find God in my own way. So the question is, I'm gonna ask you: did you have any incidents that were similar to that actually maybe were the moment in a nutshell where you moved away from God?
Moved away from God. Um, it wasn't. It
Is there
really
any
had
incident
nothing.
that, in particular,
I mean, every time I went to church, it was like, what the fuck? So that's not. That's kind of irrelevant. But I can tell you what did it. And I've already told you what may already had my wheels turning in my head. He was up
you can
late.
tell the
I was up
podcast people?
late.
You,
Yeah, I was up
you ain't
late
told the
that night.
podcast
And
community.
fucking, we talked about this. I know
Not
I've talked
remember.
about this with
This
you,
is for the
huh?
audience. The audience needs to
Oh,
know.
no. I know. Okay, I
Out
get
of
what you're
our
saying.
discussions, go ahead and break it down.
Okay,
Tell me what got you.
okay.
Tell me what
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, yeah. It was it's the Ethiopians. So it was late. We used to
Hmm.
stay up late. It'd be like 1 in the morning before the TV, because the TV used to go. Before that, either that or they had stopped doing it because they started doing the infomercials, and they used
Hmm.
to show the Africans in Ethiopia. It was during the Ethiopian famine. They ain't had no food. They had distended bellies and was flies flying all around them. And I thought, why ain't God do nothing about this? Like, what? Just do something. Like, there's kids. I'm looking at kids, children, innocent children, starving to death, like literally. they had, women holding their babies, and the babies wasn't moving. They just blinking. Like that type of, and it was trying, and then we all the world, all that shit happened after that because of that. But the point was, it was like, why the suffering was a problem for me. So I went to church, of course, the next morning, Sunday, and I asked the Sunday school teacher, which was my mom, "Hey, mom, why is God letting this happen? I don't get it. He could just solve it." And I can't remember her responses because we went back and forth a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it was the regular responses that Christians have, you know, um, free will, uh, God doesn't control the earth, all the nonsense. Just to me, it's nonsense. It's like if he's all powerful and he cares, it would just be done.
Right.
Like there's no, he's a good
So the
God,
question,
supposedly.
so the question, you want utopia, which would give us no
No, no.
challenges, because that sounds like utopia
Even
to me.
even if okay, that's fine. But if you have children dying from starvation, I think you can. There's some got to be some kind of middle ground. And even if it was utopia, okay, that's fine. What is the point of a like? There's nothing. If you say God is a good God, there's nothing that can convince me that a good God would allow that amount of suffering to death of an innocent child who's done absolutely nothing to deserve that. That's a huge problem for me. And so
Right.
she couldn't answer. She said, "Well, ask the pastor." After Sunday school,
Hmm.
we go upstairs because I pretty much ended the lesson. We go upstairs. It's in between church and Sunday school, in between whatever. We go up
Hmm.
there, and I'm thinking it and thinking it oh, is that what that's the book? So
Just testing the
I
water. I want
I
some
don't
other
want to.
ones
Yeah, yeah.
just to kind of, yeah, there's an owl.
I don't I don't want to name no names, but it
Mm-hmm.
was it was it was one. It wasn't a pastor, but it was one of his elders. It was a pastor, co-pastor, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he did not have any better answers than my mother had.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Just it kind of was like, well, what are we doing here? Like that was like the beginning of my. I just like, there's no way a good God would allow any of this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Christians have their reasons on why suffering is here. And like you said, if you want utopia, that's fine. Maybe I do want utopia. I don't understand the problem with utopia.
Right.
I
Okay.
and it to me,
I'll give you an
this
answer.
is hold,
I'll give
hold
you
on,
an
hold
answer
on.
within the
Hold
confines
on.
of free
Before
will.
you give me the
Right.
answer, before you give
Mm-hmm.
me this is what the issue boils down to for me. What would it look like if there was no God? And the only thing I can think of, it would look exactly like it looks now.
Right.
It would look just like this.
Right.
So if there's no evidence of a God, which the evidence that we have is just bad evidence to me, then what's the point?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And fair enough. But I think that here's a better question. It's a free will question that falls along that line. If you saw that today, what would you do? And if I saw that today, maybe what I might do might be different from what you did, right? If you saw that
Mhm.
same video right now, right?
As an adult,
As an adult with a pocket full of money, pocket full of
with
money,
a pocket full of money, because I
pocket full
don't
of
have a
money.
pocket full of mony.
I do.
If
I got a pocket full of money too. All right. So this is I'm separating how me and you might be different, and
Mhm.
where free will comes into play, because this separates the difference between it might separate the difference between you and me in this scenario. You might say, oh, the hell with them, keep it moving.
I
I'm
can't
not
say
saying you
that
would.
because
I
it's
wouldn't. I'm
still
not saying you would.
fuck.
I'm using an
Yeah, yeah,
example.
yeah.
I'm
Right,
giving
right,
you an
right, right.
example.
Okay.
You're the person that walks right away from the suffering and doesn't
You
care.
are right, because it's
You're,
all sorts of suffering that I'm walking away from right
absolutely
at this moment. You are
right.
correct.
There you go.
Hmm.
Do I walk away from suffering in the same way as you do? We're two different individuals, and I think I've told you enough about my charitable means to know we might be different, right? We might
Hmm.
be different, right? I'm fresh from helping old folks yesterday deliver groceries, right? You
I do charitable things. I
okay?
just don't.
But
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
that scenario, what you might do might be different from what I might do, right? So we're different in that sense, right? So our free
Hmm.
will functions and takes us to a different place, makes us behave differently. So we might be judged differently if there was something after this. You might look at yourself with absolute, or God might look at you and be like, okay, you did all right, but you don't want to walked away. I'm the person that gave at every turn, so we're not the same, right? So that's
I
what.
didn't. I don't. But see, I don't give at every turn.
Okay,
But I give.
in this
I
scenario,
do certain things.
we almost have to remove you from the scenario to say these two individuals that behave differently are different individuals in the eyes of God, right? Well, they would be, right? If one of them laughed at the people and the other person gave his life to it, we're two different people, right? So it's like,
Hmm.
so what might happen to us might actually be a little different when we actually met God in the afterlife, right? Because that's the
Hmm.
nature of free will. But I say that to say you need that suffering to be able to uh, encapsulate who's the person who is a person willing to help versus a person not willing to help. You need to without the in utopia we're doing the same thing, right? So it's, we're the same individual in utopia because we never put to the test to see what somebody might do in each scenario. So you need the suffering within this matrix that exists to be able to separate who's who. That's my explanation on why I think it's there right now. So now what happens to the person who's, you know what I mean, with the flies landing on them and no food and all that? I don't have those answers, right? I don't have those answers. I just know that
Hmm.
within our free will, yeah, getting to you, ain't I? Right?
No, not really. But go ahead.
Look,
I'm just letting.
you look,
I'm
you kind
listening.
of gave a little look. You kind of gave a look. I got it. I got
I'm
it.
listening. But it's still hella issues because
Yeah,
it's not just the kids with the extended bellies. It's
right. But
also the kids with the parasite in their eye
all that,
and the
but
cancer
use all that,
and
like because
all of that. And
there's a
it's
doctor that's
certain
helping that kid with the
the
parasite in his mind,
doctor is
right?
helping that kid
Absolutely, the doctor that's
and
helping,
right. So
and he's only able to help him because we're not in a utopia where that worm in his eye doesn't exist. That's the point
but
of that's suffering.
but why do we need the doctor to help him when we supposedly have an all like there's to me there's
Because
nothing wrong with utopia.
if it wasn't for the parasite in the
Okay,
eye, you don't get to
let me
have the test.
okay, so is there a you in heaven is there a parasite in the eye?
No, there
Great.
is not. No.
Are you a different person in heaven than you are now?
Yes,
Are you
you
a
are.
different person if we're
Your
both in
soul
heaven?
yes,
If we're both in
your
heaven,
soul is the consistent
that's
part of it,
great.
right?
Let
But
me I got another question.
if you are in that utopia, you're a different person in the sense that the revelation of who you are can't come to pass because you don't have the suffering, you don't have the test. The tests serve a purpose. That's what I'm saying, right? And
But
if
there
you're in utopia, there are no tests.
so who is the
Mic
test
drop. Where's my
for?
mic?
Who is the test for when you have children who don't even make like they die 7 days after they're born? Who is that
Okay,
test for?
I mean,
Is that for the dead kid?
it's possible. Maybe that's a one-way trip. No, the test is for us, because some of us choose to help them, while others of us choose to just turn the
But what
TV
if
station.
nobody
We not.
can help? But what if nobody can help?
Well, yeah, you
There
can.
are
We just
situations,
talked about the doctor helping the guy with the doctor that's helping the person with the parasite. That person is
yeah,
helping.
but when you have stage four
We just
cancer,
talked.
all there you have stage four cancer, there's no help for you. There's help to
Yeah,
maybe make you
there's
comfortable.
comfort. There's
Yeah.
comforting, and then you're going to meet, and then
And
you're
so
held to that standard of what your life was like at that point.
right. So
But
okay, let's go back 2000 years. The
hmm
help from this doctor was if you had cancer, okay, we're going to drain his blood because
hmm
God couldn't just say, "Yo, that's not going to help him.
right,
This is what you need to do."
yeah,
Jesus didn't even
but yeah,
Jesus was like, "It's not the problem is what comes out of your mouth. It's not what
yeah.
you're
But
putting
see, then
in." And
we
that
would be
was
back to that.
bullshit.
We would be back to
Like
that utopia if he came down and just
it's
told you
not
what was wrong.
utopia. That's not
So at that
utopia.
point, I
It
think at that point, what you
it's a
have to judge
small
is
thing.
what you have to judge at that point is even if someone's doing something wrong, it's the intent to help that person. Like that person's
Guy.
spirit is pure enough that that
Okay.
that that so
I don't think you're missing what I'm saying. Jesus came down to give us help. There are things he told to us in the Bible that is helping us. So it's not like he's completely hands off. God would come down and talk to people. He no longer really does that, but he used to, and supposedly in the Bible.
Mhm.
Jesus came down and helped us with all kind. He told us all kind of things that supposedly help us. But he could not, for some reason, he did not say, "Hey, wash your hands. If you wash your hands, you'll have less germs and that will cause less disease." Like
Right.
that would have helped us tremendously.
Yeah,
But
but
instead, he gave us the gems he gave us. Some of it was just bullshit
right.
and unhelpful.
Right. Okay, and some of it was helpful, right? Because
Yeah, some of it.
yeah, you have hordes of people who through his religious teachings are better people because of it, right? Not saying everybody, but you have
Hmm.
people that like that doctor we just talked about helping somebody with the parasite in his eye. His help may be fueled by his belief in a higher power and in Jesus and the exact words Jesus said, which is help your neighbor. You know, those exact words might be what fuels a doctor in that scenario, right? So it's like, so right, he's not telling you wash your hands, but he's telling you there's a person who knows to wash your hands. He's telling them, hey, you should be helping people. So when he goes and operates, when he goes and does charity, when he goes and does all those things, all those actions are fueled by what Jesus said to do in the first place, right? So now, as we
So you
advance,
do you think he would have done it if Jesus didn't say it? If just take Jesus out of the equation, because we went thousands of years before Yahweh and Jesus were even on the playing field, and
right,
people
right,
still did good, and
right,
people still like we were the same humans
yeah.
with or without
Some
Yahweh.
people, but
Yeah, of
yeah,
course, and
but there
people were a
are,
lot
but there are
rougher
those,
back then.
there are those who there is a percentage of those that would not, So it's like it's two categories. Some people help just out of the kindness of their heart, don't need any structure to help under because they know it's right. They have a built-in sense of right and wrong. But then
Mhm.
there's certain people who, without that built in, and the idea that there's something going to happen afterwards, wouldn't help nobody, right? They
And you
wouldn't help
also
nobody.
have Christians who won't help nobody.
Yeah, absolutely,
so
absolutely,
so
right,
even with
absolutely,
God,
right. But I
you
have
can
a
get
tendency to
a bad
believe,
result.
yeah, yeah, but I tend to believe from the percentages that there's more people that are helping due to Jesus's teachings. You know what I mean? Than there are that just adhere to those teachings and then don't want to help nobody, right? I have it, because the teach it's built into the teachings, right? So,
Hmm.
like, so
So which is kind of like okay, because I do shit out of the kindness of my heart. There's
yeah,
no Jesus involved.
that's you, that's
I
you.
don't need pressure. Yeah, I know that's
Yeah,
me, but
but other people
it,
do. You do understand? You did that. There's other. I work at a place where I work at a prison, and I know that there's
mhm,
inmates that without
that
that
need Jesus.
structure, they need Jesus. They need the structure. The structure is what sets them straight.
So
And so
the
there's
last
so,
time we
so
the last time we had this conversation, we got off, and I remembered something that Matt Dillahunty put me up on it. I didn't think about, which we all
that,
know this story.
that
Remember the
heathen,
story about
whoever
Dumbo?
he is, he sounds like a heathen.
Remember the story about Dumbo? You don't remember Dumbo, do
Not
you?
really, man. You're going a little too far back there. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. But
You
you know who Dumbo is
bring Dumbo
the elephant with the big ass ears.
Dumbo and heathen. Go ahead and bring Dumbo and heathen into the.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you see? You know
And,
what
and after
Disney?
this, after this, we're going to end with this. We're going to end with this
Okay.
parable that you're going to hit us with.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your drop the mic moment. I'm gonna give you the last
Hey.
moment,
All
and
right.
then I'm gonna eat some Denny's I got over there. So,
I I happen to think Disney is full of atheists, and they've been for decades.
okay.
So Dumbo could fly. You remember that Dumbo could
Yeah.
fly?
The
Do you
ears.
remember why Dumbo could fly?
No.
He had a magic fucking feather.
Uh huh.
Cricket, I think it was, gave him the magic feather and told him, "You can fly with this feather."
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, he lost the feather. The
Mm-hmm.
cricket had to tell him, "Dude, you didn't need that feather this whole time."
Mm-hmm.
And the nigga flew without the feather because he didn't need the feather. It was on him. Dumbo did that. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't need the feather. That feather is Yahweh, bro. We
Mm-hmm.
don't
Okay.
need the God. Like people think they need the feather. They don't need the feather. We're doing this with or without. If God, if you pray and you go look for a job and you get a job, you can say whatever got you the job. If you just pray and you sit there and don't look for the job,
Mhm.
you're probably not going to get a job. It's got to
Right.
come to you.
Right.
If you don't pray and you just go look for a job, you're probably going to get a job.
Right.
No
But you
prayer
never.
involved.
But a lot of people's searches are fueled by the faith that something better can happen, right? Or they wouldn't, right? So in that sense,
Hmm.
they do need like this thing with the inmates that find that turn their life around.
Hmm.
Sure they could have turned their life around without that push from Jesus or from religion, but they in particular needed it, and that was the reason that pushed them to it. So you're saying they still could have
Hmm.
did it, yeah, but I'm telling
Yeah.
you they needed it and they did it because of that, right? I know I
But
said I was going to give
yeah,
you the last
no, I
mic,
know.
but
But
I've dropped
imagine,
this mic.
imagine, imagine if people instead of preaching Jesus were preaching human, like, yo,
We're preaching what?
human, like, yo, we're
Mm-hmm.
in this. We are all we have. You know what I'm saying? It might be
Yeah,
convincing as
but what,
Jesus is if
why come we
somebody had
can't
the
do both?
proper. Hmm?
How,
I'm sorry, what?
how are they mutually exclusive? Why come we can't do both? Why come we can't attack this from both perspectives?
Because I
What does it
think
hurt to
Jesus, I think
attack it from
Yahweh
both?
is
Because
Dumbo's magic feather, bro. It's not there.
right,
It's
and
not
some
real.
people, and at some point, Dumbo needed that feather, and it worked out fine. So just why do you care? Right? It's like let the person that needs the feather and or the push
Because
get
it's
their
the
push and
issues
get to
that
the
come
same
with the
result.
feather, the homophobia that comes with the feather, the slavery that comes with the feather,
Right?
the racism that comes with the feather, because Yahweh's chosen people right now are bombing the shit out of Gaza, and there are Christians here who are like, "Oh no, they're God's chosen people. What the fuck? They're
Mm-hmm.
supposed
Yeah.
to
There.
let them do it. Just give them more
Right.
bombs."
Yeah.
That's the problem with the feather, bro. There's a problem with the feather that people ignore. So,
Right. Which leads us to our next pod. Part two of this is going to be who needs the feather, the negatives
oh,
that come as a result of religion. We're gonna tackle that. And
we could dive into that. That's
I got a
great because we
sleeper.
can go
I
into the
got a sleeper
Bible.
that's coming into the house because it's gonna be a third guest that's gonna be in
Okay,
there.
all right,
My sister. It's
all
Inga.
right, all right, cool.
We
I'll
get.
bring scripture.
I'm getting my backup. I'm getting my backup for the next. It's gonna be glorious. For all these times that I
Tell her
stutter.
to bring her Bible.
Yeah, she's
I'll
gonna bring.
prepare and I will have scriptures written down.
Yeah, but she was there yesterday, so we're gonna do this, and I'm bringing in Big Sis, and we're gonna do it. So,
Yep.
for right now, hey, it's time for us to get up out of here. We've been here for about 22 minutes or so, and we're gonna keep it moving and subscribe and thumbs up. All
All right,
right,
bro.
buddy. Hey, after,